Hey everyone, Nick from Nick's Crossing here. Welcome back to the train room for a crazy video. So guys, picked up this awesome accessory right here and we have to do some destruction to fit this in. And then of course we're going to test it with some trains. So here we go guys, all aboard. Alright guys, I was up in New Jersey for work and on my downtime I actually picked up this awesome pedestrian crossover. So it's actually the same shop that picked up that Maryland and Pennsylvania sound boxcar with the Legacy Sounds. And the bridge was sitting up on the shelf in this huge box. I was like, man, I'll take this off your hands. So picked this up for a fantastic price. It was like 50 bucks. But it's not just a pedestrian crossover. It actually is a speedometer for scale speed. So it's got these little infrared beams that shoot across to the other side, right in there somewhere. Yep, in these little holes here. And it picks up your locomotive speed on a little digital readout screen. So I was wondering if I can get this to work. I did read the instructions. It really recommends putting this in under your track, but we have a couple things we're going to do to get this working so we don't have to tear up the track at least. But the bad news is that my station is just in the way. So I actually had to move the station over. I'll show you guys this. We had to move the station over. It's about, what, 3.5 inches from this corner here over, exposing the pink. So what we're actually going to do is move the station down to about here, another 4 inches or so. Move this bridge all the way down to like, it's gonna be like right about here. And then we're gonna have to move our other inner platforms to the outside here to match up with the end of the roof. So like all these little MTH platforms and everything match up. So the height's the same. This is all from one kit. You get the station, then the two auxiliary platforms that are lighted. And I also have this rogue platform over here at my freight station. So we basically just have a lot of tear up to do. Then I need to move these platforms here to right here. So I'll get into that. I'll come back when it's all done. There's a couple tricks we're gonna have to do with this because I am not digging out my track. There's like this support bar that goes underneath between these right here. And we're actually gonna take that apart, just use the wire it came with. Guys, we are making progress up here. I got some music blasting out of my Bluetooth speaker. Destroying the layout is always fun, but once we're done, it's going to be awesome. I can't wait. So guys, the pedestrian bridge is now on the left instead of over here. So I was working with this switch and this flat car, and every time this flat car came out, it just took out the pedestrian bridge. It was like, yeah, we can't have that. So, so I ended up moving the bridge to the left, which involved a couple of things. I had to move the station over about 6 inches. We also had to trim off this station right here. You can see I grinded some of that down so it fits nice and flush against the wall. And then I also had to clear the crossing signal right here. So also put it on an angle to kind of get some space between the stairs and the signal. So those are all the things I had to do. On top of that, ripping up a lot of my road right in here, all the greenery between the level crossing here all the way down to the freight platform. So we are making progress. This is looking awesome. And just to give you guys a visual, the new platforms will be over here. So we'll have one platform right about there and another platform right about here. Now this is actually really cool. I'm excited for this. At first I was like, you know, I don't know if I like it. Kind of like the platform in the middle. But this is going to offer a bunch of filming opportunities and different angles. So be able to get some nice bridge shots like that over top the track, be able to put the tripod in the middle or drop my action cam up on the bridge. Also scenery shots from the station itself, so filming out. So I'm really excited for that. This should look really cool. Now a couple of things with this, wiring it up, that's actually the next thing I have to do. Then we'll test it together. So when wiring this up, these basically these infrared beams have to match up to the other infrared beams on the other side right there. they don't match up, it will not pick up the speed of the locomotive. So a couple of things first. When wiring this up, there's a Molex over here, has to connect to over here, so I have to make an extension so I can actually go under the platform to over here. Now if I was using tubular track that they recommend to use, you could actually just use the piece of plastic that's located in. It just goes under your track, you just clip it all together, done deal. This is actually built before fast track, so they weren't thinking about that at the time. Now also to wire it up, there's a readout screen, which I'll show you guys in a second here. That will be mounted underneath the platform somewhere, or I'll take it back to my control stand over here that's a mess, but we'll figure that out in just a second. Now this works off 14 to 16 volts AC, so your accessory power, and it should be good to go. So I'll take you guys over to show you that readout screen and also that Molex connector I'll have to mount. Alright guys, we're over by the desk, and really quick, I wanted to show you this support beam. This has a Molex connector on each side, so it runs these wires through, helps with the alignment of the accessory. There's another Molex right there. So you can actually take these out. I'm going to rewire these so we can actually go under the platform. But if I was using tubular track, just like on my test track here, you just slide this underneath, just like that, and you're good to go. But we're not using tubular track, we're using MTH's real tracks, or even if you're using fast track, you'd have the same problem. So pretty easily fixed. There's actually two of these alignment bars we're not going to use because I have no way of getting these under my track. So we're almost there, guys. We'll be back once everything is wired up and ready to plug in. Alright guys, so I took out those leads from this piece of plastic here. They were just kind of fed through the trough in the back. Now like I said, this is designed to go underneath of tubular track, just like that, so you don't have to drill any holes in your platform, but we're not using tubular track anymore. This is just my test track. So I had to actually take these out of that trough, solder an extension so we can feed these wires underneath the platform. So we have to drill down, feed one side through, and then go underneath the tracks to the other side of the pedestrian bridge, plug into the other side with that side over there. Now all of this reads out on this piece right here. This is like the brain of the operation. It's a little LCD screen here. We have a reset button. And then on the side we have an on-off switch. I'm not sure if this beeps or anything. Well, I guess we'll find out. It might sound like a calculator. And then on the back, this is where, this is the busy side here. So the business end right here is your power in, 14 volt max. Then you have this ribbon wire that connects to the bridge, I guess to give you the readout. So let's get all this hooked up and see how it works. Alright guys, so I drilled a hole right in here, and then on the other side right here. The other Molex connector's in. The other wire is actually under the platform. And we had to drill a pretty big hole for this, which I don't really like doing because you have to hide it. But these are actually pretty well hidden on the inside of the track. So we have a connector here with all three wires. And then I'm just going to lift this up. Look how much clearance we have now. Before we didn't have that. So this should just plug right in there. Let's see what we got. There it goes. Alright, so that's plugged in. So on the outside here, I left that ribbon wire. So that ribbon wire connector is right there in the center of your screen. So I have to drill a larger hole right there. Now the reason why is because we only get like 2 feet of this ribbon wire stuff. So if I put it on the outside, it's kind of hard to maneuver this box here. So I have to find a space like underneath here to do the readout for that. Alright guys, everything is wired up correctly. We have the ribbon wire just sticking out here for now. And in this video, we're just going to concentrate on the accessory. We'll do a part 2 with all the scenery. So this accessory is operating correctly, and it's really cool. So if we go over to the computer here, or that's what I'm calling it, the computer station, and we turn this item on here, get a really nice looking blue screen. It says Lionel. Then once you hit the reset, it says scale speed. Now I was actually kind of messing around with this with the bobber caboose that I have, and that's right here. And let's see, once this goes through the sensors, it times how long it takes to go from point A to point B between each set of these sensors here. So once it passes through this sensor, it gives you a 1 number, and then it adds it to the second number here. So if I hit reset, it's ready to go. So if I just shoot this car through, It says 40 miles an hour right on the screen right there, and it will say that until you hit reset. So this accessory does not refresh on its own, so that's kind of cool. Maybe if you want to do racing or something like that with your trains, do a speed test, it displays it until you hit reset, which is kind of cool. I mean, if you're trying to figure out the max speed train and it refreshes while you're not looking, that'd be kind of annoying. But because this logs in each speed each time, even if I throw this car through, it's not going to pick up on the sensor. Now, the best way to test this is I'm going to use my MTH app and use one of my MTH locomotives that has the scale speed increments. So let's get that rolling here. We'll use my SD9 with PS3. It's brand new. So we'll see how accurate this thing is. Alright guys, according to the app, let's reset this. I'm going about 18 miles per hour. So right there, 18 on the MTH app. So let's see what this says. Let's get it going through the pedestrian bridge here. Alright, it's saying 6 miles per hour. So I'm not sure if this is actual miles per hour or scale miles per hour. So let's get it going the other way here. Let's reset her. Let's do 17 here. Okay, that's a little bit more accurate. It's saying 21 miles per hour. So the other thing too I'm noticing is it counting my cars as well, because it said 1 and 2. So if I pick up my consist of cars, let's see how accurate that is. But let's reset this. We'll bring her back. Let's go a bit faster. Let's go 20. Nice round number there. Well, actually, let's go 25. So just to prove it, 25 on the app, right there below. And then here comes our locomotive. Okay, that's saying 9 miles per hour. So let's go the other way. Make sure I reset the device. We're going 12 according to the MTH app. Okay, that's not right at all. It's saying 145 miles per hour, so that is definitely not right at all. So maybe it's just the time it covered it, or the smoke is messing with it. So let's go forward again. Give it enough time to reset here. Let's do 15. So there it is on the app, 15. Oh, look at that. Okay, so it did get that one. Right on the head, 15. So if I focus here, yep, 15 miles per hour. Let's do that one more time. So let's give it enough time to reset. I mean, we are working with some older technology here. This is from the early 2000s, so gotta give it a break. All right, let's go 15. Okay, so the other direction, for some reason, it's picking up a really weird reading here. So let's go in the other direction one more time. Let's go 20 this time. Seven. So there's something up with the sensors in here, but also I might be looking too far into this. It is just a toy, it's just for fun. But maybe it wants the faster speed. So let's hook up a consist. I've got some passenger cars sitting here from my last video. Get those going around the track. Alright guys, I have a bunch of cars from the last video I shot with the Atlantic. So let's get her up to a nice cruising speed here. Let's go, let's say 30. Now let's reset our device here. And also, let me move this screwdriver out of the way. There we go. Let's see what we get. And it says 30 right there. 30 right on the head. Look at that. Okay, so this might have something to it. So look at that right on the screen there. 30. and 30. So let's try that one more time. Let's reset it. This is actually starting to be interesting here. Okay, so I'll give it a factor of 5. Let's do a factor of error 5. So I like that. Let's do one more loop here. Let's trick it up a little bit. Let's go 35 this time. Or 40. Let's go 40. It might actually pick up the faster speeds a little bit better. That's what I'm starting to get on here. Alright guys, so 40 is on the screen. Focus on there, and then 40 right there. So let's try this one more time with a slower speed. Let's go 25 here. I'm starting to think that this thing works a little bit better with faster speeds. Okay, 30, so I'll give it a factor of 5, so it's somewhat accurate right now. But I think it's going to work better with the faster speed. So let's crank this up. I usually don't like doing this up here. Let's crank her up to 50. Alright, so we got 50 right there on the app. And then let's see what our screen says. Okay, 61, so not far off, but not good either. Alright, we're at 75 miles per hour. Let's see what it does. 75 on the dot. Look at that. Wow. So I guess this was meant for running at higher speeds. Let's try a little bit faster. Let's do 80. 85. Alright guys, let's try 85. This is as fast as I feel comfortable running this locomotive. There it is. 85. 84. Wow. Let's give it one more chance for 85. 87. Oh, look what I did. 86. I hit it by mistake. Wow, this thing is pretty accurate. Alright guys, let's do I'll surprise you guys how fast it's going. Just take a guess. Look at that. 100. 99. Wow. Alright guys, so what do you think of this awesome pedestrian bridge? Honestly, it's going to look awesome once the station's done. It looks very rough right now. I've got a lot more work to do scenery-wise up here, but I plan on doing some videos on that to show you guys how I do scenery, some track work, some electrical work up here on the layout, not in the room, but on the layout itself. But this is such a cool accessory. I love the playability. It's way up there on my layout. Just having this little readout screen and everything is just so much fun. And seeing the speedometer getting pretty close to that app is just pretty amazing to me. This technology is over 20 years old in this thing. So I'm surprised it can honestly start up and do anything at all. But pretty much get the speed within 5 to 10 miles per hour, give or take, is pretty impressive. And when this came out, if they want you using tubular track, it's probably from the late 90s, early 2000s. We really didn't have a lot of speed control yet in our realm of the hobby. I know HO and DCC, they had their speed control, but for us O-gaugers, that stuff didn't really come into like the early 2000s with like Odyssey and then PS2 and things like that. So this is pretty impressive, being able to read out anything at all that's close to what my MTH locomotive's reading out. So just really cool. I do plan on doing a lot more with this station than what it was. Got some new lights on the way. I've got some new crew figurines and such and people. And also plan on doing a whole other section right here, like a parking area for the stations, maybe some like baggage cars, stuff like that, or like baggage carts. Make it look really nice up here. But anyways, guys, thank you for joining me in this destruction video, but having fun with this accessory really made this a lot of fun. Anyways, guys, if you're new to the channel, always consider subscribing. Giving the video one of these really helps. Love reading the comments. If you guys have one of these, let me know. Until next time, everyone, stay safe out there. Happy railroading. We'll see you next time. See you guys.